as kids, we quickly became aware, were made aware, that we were different, that we are outcasts. They called us Christ killers. I was 12 and 13 years old, 9 years old, and I started becoming aware of all this. I never killed anybody in my life. The Jew was being dehumanized to the Germans, to the killers, so that when they pull the trigger, they're killing a rat, or they're killing a mouse, or they're killing an animal. They're not killing another human being. There never was a time during the entire 3 years of my incarceration in these concentration camps that I gave a single thought that I will give in, or lie down, or sit down, or this is the end. We were women, children, old men, religious people. You asked to defend yourself against tanks, heavy armor, and bombers, airplanes. 50 million Frenchmen couldn't defend themselves. 30 million Poles couldn't defend themselves. How outrageous is for anyone to say that few Jewish people who were peaceful living for centuries should have defeated the Germans and defended themselves. They would beat us terribly. If you had a button missing, they would give you 25 lashes. And my father had a button missing when they lined us up to check us through. And I had to take his coat and take the lashes because, I was younger, I could take it. And the love between us was great because we suffered so much together. And many such instances, that he couldn't take it and I could, and we substituted our jackets with our numbers on them, went and got the punishment. One Sunday, they lined us up for recreation for the SS. The Ukrainians and then the camp commander, all 3,000 of us in two lines, and they took one very well-developed male in his early 40s, down that line naked. He was stripped naked. It was cold. And he was dragged on a rope by one of these SS guards down the line, and we were given instructions that everybody in the line has to punch him. And those that don't will be hit with a rifle butt from the guards and behind, who worked behind us. And we all had to punch him and beat him to kill him that way. That was just a sport, Sunday sport. This well-developed male, Jewish, from the Warsaw Ghetto, because they came in later, and he just wouldn't go down. We had boxers, young men that were strong fighters, athletic. They went out and boxed him, tried to knock him down. They couldn't knock him down. It's as vivid in my memory as would have happened only yesterday. And for about an hour and a half, everybody tried to kill him. They just put him out of his misery. Finally, put like a baseball bat into his mouth, stuffed in his mouth, and poured a bucket of latrine feces into his and drowned him. There was no other way to. By now he was pretty much out of his mind, but they couldn't knock him down. I mean, I've not seen anything like it. The problem I have is that, and I knew that when we came out of the camps, that if anyone was to harm my father, I was afraid that we live in a civilized society, that I would in fact kill that person if I found that someone killed my father or hurt my father. I was afraid for a long time for that because I I had that in my subconscious as like, an animal on the run kind of thing. And because I loved him so very much. He was my best friend and a wonderful, wonderful man, and we shared so much together, even after the war. But the fact that I could not see myself getting married and having children, that's a scar I did not discuss before, and it just lays deeply buried in my mind, because I know I could have made a wonderful father.